Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith in the Black here at the Strat Time Report, CPU Group, and so we've got the Fed coming, so we can expect things to stall out just a tad here. So if we go to the SPY, you can see we opened and then just dropped in a little bit, not doing much, and that was kind of what we expected. Overnight, looking at some of these things. I'm going to write this down. Looks like I'm doing this around in here. So if we go to the weekly, you're going to see this. You come into Wednesday, and you're doing this on the week. These things are doing nothing, right? So you can expect to chop shop back and forth, back and forth. So SPY on the 60 in the lower left. Here, inside on the 60. So we're consolidating, waiting on the Fed. Not be too surprised by what they'll say, but that's just what goes on. So if we go to QQQ, question here was how you're not going to be an inside day, right? So we talked about this yesterday. So when you close here, right, you can see this is yesterday's range, and then you close in the middle of it. How are you going to get out of here, right? So you're going to need some help from those earnings guys like Apple and Google, and you got a little bit out of the Googs, but for the most part, we could expect this because you got a Fed coming. You're stuck in the middle of the range, so it looks like we got an inside day cooking here in the Qs. So we'll be aware of that, and also you can see this in conflict, slightly red on the week. So we don't like to trade things in conflict and things that are dojis and doing nothing. When you get to the middle of the day or you get to the middle of the week, just like I showed in SPY. If you go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, a little worse, potential outside day, but once again, how far is it really going to go? You had your inside 60 down here in the lower left, which broke a little bit but couldn't get out of this opening range. And now you got a new 60. We're always watching that new 60. But if you go to that weekly again, look at this range between the opening and the close. It's awful, right? It's terrible. So not a good week to be trading the futures. Small cappers, once again, look at this. Inside week, doji on the week. We prefer this to the downside, but now you're in conflict because you're green on the day, so not going on much there. So you always want to follow the different themes of what's going on during the day when you go to different sectors and whatnot. So one of the things that we were looking for in the video last night was potential reversal in Chinese stocks, and we got it. BABA. So here you can see when you gap down like this, here you had 1, 2, 3 gaps, right? And right, so your breakout, your continuation, and your exhaustion, right? And so at this point, when it closes here, we're always asking what's the next two, right? It was closer to taking out yesterday's highs, right? So that put us on alert to try and come back up here. Now we want to see if it's going to be strong enough to take this out. So these would become an outside bar of that, right? So and you're setting up potential weekly hammer here, but we got some weak on that. You got an inside 60 right now in BABA. You've got Z-Lab. And Z-Lab ripping here, and you can see that was not close to taking out the highs, but when it gapped up to here, this is a kicking pattern. When you have this bright red countered with a gap green going back the other way, that's something you definitely want to look for. That's a 2 down, 2 up reversal. Now I'm going to see if we can be strong enough to take this out, right? So these would become an outside bar of that. If we go to NTES, Netties, boom. These two become an outside bar of that, and that's what we're hoping to get out of all the other ones that we're looking at here. If we go to PDD, and PDD also coming up here, and we're going to see if we can become an outside bar of that or more, right? But once again, it wasn't close to taking it out, but then boom, it opens, and as soon as it takes this out, then you have your 2-2 reversal, 2 down, 2 up. And it didn't gap through that, which is good, which means you can grab that as soon as it takes this high out. 87.63, trading 92.39. That's not bad, and still grinding higher. If we go to FUTU, and FUTU also is nowhere near taking this out, but gaps up, and then you can grab that if when it takes this out here above 111.62. All right, so there's a couple bucks in there so far, and we'll see if these all can continue back higher. If we go to JD, and JD, boom, these two become an outside bar of that, and that's what we're hoping for. And a lot of this other stuff, should China continue here, you got an inside 60 on JD as I speak. If we go to BGNE, BGNE inside day, boom, the two down, the inside, the bam, right back up in they face, trying to set up the weekly hammer, although you got some time on that week. So we'll see if that sets up again here. You got a new 60 starting to drop in just a tad, but a nice move there so far. If we go to, let's go to AMD earnings. AMD got him but good, right? AMD got him but good. And so you can see here on the monthly, stops out all these guys by going slight lower low. Now we're looking to come up here and go slight higher high to complete the broadening formation over 99.23, right? If you go down to a 15-minute, you're going to see this. Here, the outside bar, the inside bar, 3, 1, 2, and off she goes. And when she takes this out, we're looking to take that out at least, which it did. All right, and then you can just follow it up. Say, here's my inside 30 to get more, right? And you can just walk it up the bottom of these 30s and take her to the promised land, right? And that's going to tell you to keep an eye on Xilinx. And Xilinx, 2 down, 2 up day without the gap. And then you'll see this inside on the 30 as well. All right, keeping these in mind. So you're still red on the month. You are taking out last week's highs, though. So that's positive, which means you can override the month. When these 3 are green, I can't identify these monthly sellers. They're gone, as far as I'm concerned. So if we go to Repligen going to take care of business. We were looking at this yesterday as it took out that inside month. Boom, where's it going, Rob? Up there. I was asked to draw this broadening formation yesterday, and I'm like, where's it going, Rob? Up there. Inside month to the upside. We're looking to take this out at least. 228.83. We've done that and then some. 239. Sometimes they keep a going. Nice move there, Repligen. Some of these materials names. MLM, Martin Marietta, coming up here a little bit. Taking RevStrat week inside, then down, then boom. Now you can get some more juice out of this thing if you can take this monthly out, lower middle. 369. If you can take that out, you're in good shape for the 222. And that tells us to keep an eye on VMC. And so on VMC, we'd look to see if we can take this out on the month. 185 would be nice here. So right now, stalling out with the market just a little bit, as we can expect a lot of that stuff because of the Fed coming. Well, let's take a little bit more China. Billy Baru, Billy, and Billy, 2 down, 2 up. These two become an outside bar of that, hoping you can get up to this and maybe up into the gap, so you can keep an eye on this one as well. If we go to, little memer, stalling out a bit, but you got your BlackBerry starting to perk up just a tad for those apes over at Reddit. Now you got your inside 60s to see if it's for reals or not. Okay, market dropping in just a tad here. If SPY does this, inside 60 to the downside. How far that's going to go, don't know because of this weekly, but it's an important signal, the inside 60, all right? Consolidating, attempting to break down. If we go to letter U, and letter U had a nice reversal here, 2 down, 2 up on the day, didn't gap, and if that works, you can take that weekly, all right? So the 2 down, high of this was 103.47. Boom, 107.30. Now stalling out a little bit with market, but 107.30, and the high of this was 105.89. So you're already going 2-2 on the week. Boom, 2-2 daily. Wait for they triangle that out. So you wait for that corrective activity. Boom, off she goes. If we go to Fiverr, FVRR. And nice move here too. Still inside of the month, but green. And you can see this slight lower low on the week. Boom. These 2 weeks going to become an outside bar of all this, right? And hopefully keeps going. Your outside day to the upside hits the magnitude by taking this out. So we'll see if that sets up again. You can see it's backing off on the 60. There was a nice little inside 60 here to start the day for you. If we go to Tilray. And Tilray, once again, that kicking pattern. Bright red, gap above it. Boom, off she goes. It gives you the outside weaker. trying to come back up on that month. Still red on the month, but you can see driving higher off the inside 60 here. Still good is Tilray, and then take a look at CGC. What's that thing doing? To a lesser extent, but you can watch all that weed. How about Cron? So the weed coming up just a tad here. Tilray going to the highs as I speak. If we go to Sava, BGNE going to the highs. And Sava, whoo boy, I thought you'd never get out of this month. Wrong. And so here you go on the monthly. Look at this. Inside month, poke down, rev strat. 1, 2, 2. Off she goes over 48.91, trade 138.22. Not bad. Now it pokes down a little on the 60. You can see getting stuck in here, but still holding gains here, so we can look to see how that sets up. If we go to HRC, and HRC, not sure what's going on with this thing, but looks like it halted and then gapped, so we'll see what goes on with that thing. And so Moderna heating up just a little bit. Let's take a look here. And Moderna's still inside day, so be careful there. On the downside, you had a gap for Humana here, and now you can see this inside 60, outside 60, so you want to see if you can get out of that opening range, starting to drop in right now, right? So you can keep an eye on that. Some of the restaurants getting hit here, a little Wingstop. Wingstop trying to fight back here, though. You can see this would be rev strat back to the upside if they want to bring this thing back up. Inside 60, pokes down, boom. If you can take this thing here, 162.90, right? And the one good thing about a rev strat on a 60-minute, it takes 3 hours to set up. You shouldn't miss that if you're watching the gap list. If we go to Yum Brands, just had a nice move, but then just gives you that 2-2 reversal here. Had some distance to go take it out, though, which is a little bit of a problem. So if we go to Domino's Pizza, and Domino's Pizza, not really getting pounded, but it's you can see this big, long day, mother bar. All these guys are stuck inside of that. Tries to poke up yesterday to take these guys out, but then comes back in 1, 2, 2 rev strat day to the downside. So hopefully you can take out these guys down into here, right? Become an outside bar of that, right? If we go to the rails, having a little bit of trouble. Norfolk Southern coming down, potentially an outside week, right? And right now you can see this here on the 60, the continuation. 2 down by taking out the previous low. 2 up. Boom, rev strat for the next hour here. Below 256.05, right? You're there right now. Go to Union Pack, go around the horn on these things. See this rev strat Union Pack working right now as I speak. Inside bar, poke up, boom. These guys become an outside bar of that and take all this stuff out. This is also an outside bar, so if you can stay outside of that, this buying rejection is still continuing here below 215.97, right? You're there right now. CSX doing. CSX also having problems. So rails having some issues here, and the trannies. A couple more restaurants, and then we'll leave it at that. BJRI. Here, we're not liking these new masking policies. It's the return of the masking policies, it appears. Inside day to the downside, potentially outside week, and already red on the month. If we go to the Cheesecake Factory, mask up, boys. Boom. We got them, but good here. And there's your kicker, your green day. Boom, down into here. Now inside on the 60, we'll see if that can break here below 48.68, looks like. So, but you want to be careful in here. Like I said, we got the Fed coming here this afternoon, but you do have this working right now on the SPY. The inside 60 down, right? Those inside bars, always want to pay attention to those on a 60-minute basis on the broader averages. That's a major signal. Folks, 2 hours inside and now trying to drop in. So be aware, Fed's coming. China coming back. Restaurants coming down. That's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith of Smith & Black here at the Strat Time Report.